What's up, ladies, gentlemen, people, extraterrestrial aliens and everything in between? Time for episode 2 of this series, where we will be taking a look at a clip from Jinmu's Pharah in the summer showdown against the Dynasty. So it's currently 2-2 between the Seoul Dynasty and the Chengdu Hunters, and Dynasty take round 1 pretty convincingly. And now the Hunters need to make some big adjustments if they want to win the map and move forward to the summer showdown. Dynasty have been running Tracer Ashe the entire first round, which would normally counter a Pharah. But the problem with that comp is that it's very situational. On Nepal Shrine the Ashe Tracer can work because there is high ground near the point that allows an Ashe to get a lot of good sniping angles on the point, and there are also a lot of flank angles a Tracer can utilize. The same cannot be said for the other 2 sections of Nepal, which is why when we move over to the village section of Nepal Dynasty switch over to a rush comp. Nepal Village is known for being one of the best rush maps in the game, and during Stage 3 Marvel was probably the best shrine in APAC, so mirroring the rush is not something the Hunters are interested in doing, so they decide to go Pharah. No one in a 2021 rush comp is a good counter to Pharah except for maybe BAP and D.Va, but even that's a bit of a stretch considering BAP is a support, and a D.Va has a lot of things to do at an Overwatch League level. And his play was so good that I couldn't just break down 1 clip, I decided to break down 3 shorter clips, and as soon as the rounds start, just look at how much pressure Jinmu is already applying. Dynasty is forced into the side room just off of his sheer existence. Despite getting the first capture, the Dynasty are then quickly rolled through. Now the Dynasty realize that the Masim is not going to work against the Pharah, so they switch over to Cassidy Tracer to try and counter it, but let's see how Jinmu is able to play around it throughout the rest of the round. Next clip is a very ballsy yet very impressive play that Jinmu is able to get away with. So the Hunters have just capped the point and Jinmu is ready with a barrage to win the next fight. The Dynasty all group up in the high ground building next to the mountain. Jinmu starts applying pressure with his rockets as they begin pushing out of the building. Then he uses his conch blast to knock them all back into the building and jump jets on top of the building at the same time. This is a prime example of Jinmu's incredible cooldown management and positioning on Pharah. Then 2U flies up to Jinmu knowing that he needs to put a stop to the pressure Jinmu is applying, but as this is happening Late Young flies in to relieve some pressure and 2U is forced back down to the ground. Now that 2U has wasted his boosters and is back in the building, and Monk hitting a big 3-man anti, Jinmu has the perfect window for a big barrage. Creative and Fits are low and antied, and Jinmu can just train fire. He kills both Creative and Fits, and Anamo and 2U both try to finish him off, and despite being matrixed Anamo still dies. Although 2U finishes him off, the last few rockets are still able to demech him and the fight has become unwinnable. Great job from Jinmu trapping them all in the building and great job from Monk and Late Young helping with the setup. Now for something that went a little unnoticed on the broadcast. So currently it is a 5v6 with the Dynasty down their main support, and Jinmu is flying high above the mountainside building I was just discussing. Profit falls, now it's just a matter of cleanup for this fight, and Jinmu is ready to get his hands dirty. He conch blasts off the slanted roof to gain a bit of speed and he just starts shooting. Just simply shooting at Marvel's shield forces him into the building, and the Dynasty are now trapped. Jinmu peeks his head in for a bit more damage before jump jetting over the roof to where the Dynasty are now repositioning next to another building. After a bit more shooting the Dynasty are pressured back into the mountainside building, and Jinmu jump jets again to rotate accordingly. Then Prophet blinks out the building to try and make space for the rest of his team to move in. But he is quickly halted by a gigantic EMP from Leave. And the rest of the Dynasty begin taking space and pushing out of the building as the EMP lands, essentially screwing over the Dynasty's entire plan. However, Anamo isn't hit with the EMP, so he's able to use his sound barrier to try and save the team, but the Hunters just have way too many ultimates to try and overcome. Gaga drops the minefield, Jinmu goes for another conch blast engage and gets nanoed in the process. And while all these ults are being dumped on top of the EMP, Late Young is sending in his Diva Bomb. One sound barrier is enough to counter one ult, maybe two, but 4 ults is way too much to overcome. And with one more rocket thrown in just for good measure, half of the dynasty is forced back into the mountainside building, crashing into the bomb that was waiting for them. With half the team now dead, Tuya throws in a desperation Diva Bomb, but as he jumps out of the exploding mech, Jinmu hits another shot to finish him off. Fitz does kill his Pocket Mercy, but one last direct rocket is enough to finish off Fitz and win the round. Despite being Late Young's big play, there was a lot of coordination that went into it, and Jinmu's rocket pressure definitely played a big role in this play. And that's gonna do it for this one, guys. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe for more. And until the next episode, bye bye.